Once again, this is Sam Z. You can see I'm actually dressed funny right now because I'm going to be playing Edgar Allan Poe at the Roast of Stephen King tonight. Not the real Stephen King. I'm also not the real Edgar Allan Poe. Some friends and I are going to be in Brooklyn at Local 61 doing this fun little roast thing at 8 p.m. If you're around, you should come by. It's going to be a ton of fun. I know a lot of the guys and gals who are involved, and the guy who's heading it up, Kevin Frolix, is a monster when it comes to comedy stuffs. Look at me, I'm insane. I'm just deliciously anticipating what's going to happen tonight. The cards. Actually, this has to do with the cards. I've been practicing my bit today, and I think I've got most of the jokes down. The real last question for me is what kind of a voice I'm going to do. Should I really go all out for it, or should I go something kind of neutral? You know, should I try and do? I was thinking something like a little bit, the emo Phillips looking, you know, like something like that. Or should I? Are people going to get tired of that after 2 minutes and just want to hear me talk the way that I do? I thought of sort of doing maybe like a midway sort of John Waters thing because he's also from Baltimore, and I think that he has a lot of connections to Edgar Allan Poe when you think about it. But anyway, I decided that I would ask the cards this question, and here I am. While I shuffle, please enjoy the soulful sounds of Laura Nyro. If you don't know Laura Nyro, she's dead, so you can't know her. But you can get to know her music, which is fantastic. This is a good album. It's called Heart-Shaped Box. No, that's not the name of the album. This one is called Smile. It's a great album, and most of her albums are, I have to say. You will end up hearing a song of hers that you didn't even know was hers, usually. Alright, I think these cards are well enough shuffled. Let's get to the reading! Alright. So question, should I do a silly voice in my role tonight as Edgar Allan Poe, or is that going to be dangerous? Let's see here. We have the Three of Pentacles, Three of Discs. I'm trying to get out of the habit of calling them discs because I think that that's kind of sloppy of Crowley, but actually who gives a shit, right? Okay, so you've got this giant triangle, which is all part of these discs, sort of connecting them in a way, and then the triangle itself has shape and form. This all represents self-confidence, full effort that pays off, and the question, something that can only be achieved through unified cooperation of the three parts, which are body, mind, and soul, of course. Body, mind, and soul. Soul, body, and mind. I'm listening to soul right now. Is that enough? What about my mind? What about my body? Maybe later I'll jack off, and then that will be my body, but then my mind is still going to be fudgy, so I don't know. Where are you still holding yourself back? In which areas could you be putting more of your energy? I think that's definitely a huge question for me right now, because, you know, of course, not all of my jokes are written exactly the way that I want them to be. There are some fudgy jokes that I'm not too crazy about. So yeah, so that's what I'm facing right now. Is I think maybe I'm holding back some areas that should matter more. But the obstacle here is the Prince of Swords. Interesting. I think that's very interesting. I think that's maybe my most used word. Interesting. I need to put an embargo on that word. Cutting through old entanglements. The creative process requires unlimited freedom. Creative thought cannot accept any restrictions. Something about, this is why the prince raises his sword high to strike, to cut through the bonds that bind him to the three figures pulling the chariot. I think that's very true. You can see those three figures there holding, pulling the chariot. What are those figures? Are they gummy bears that have hands? I don't know. They could be literally anything. This guy, he looks a little bit like Captain Planet. I'm gonna be totally honest with you right now. Or maybe the Green Arrow in his, you know, not TV days, but early comic days. So, once I cut through the bonds, what do I stand to gain from this? Oh, holy shit, look at this. It's the Fool. The Fool is like my favorite card of all time. Not in the least because it is number 0, but it is number 0, that is true. Not that 0 means anything negative in this case. What does there's so much to talk about with the Fool here, but I think I'm going to try and keep it simple in this case, and we can elaborate later. Spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and physical are all the levels of the 4 spirals that he's holding there. This is a particular kind of Fool that Crowley has provided for us here. The thing that I would say I dislike about this Fool is just how unfoolish he looks. You know, he looks like just like a muscle man. Look at all that. Look at those abs. Like, that's just unnecessary. Talk about Captain Planet, right? This guy's like Captain Planet's mixed with the Jolly Green Giant from those vegetables. So what can I say? I stand to gain the affirmation, which is I now follow the voice of my heart. I am open and ready to go wherever it directs me. I guess that's true. I mean, in the end, that's the only thing that you can learn from struggling with the strange gummy bears who are pulling you along in a chariot to God knows where, is, you know, finding that ultimate balance, and then the affirmation, which is all along, you know, I'm going to follow my heart anyway. That's ultimately what I'm going to do. So I think, in a sense, it doesn't really matter what I choose, because I'm going to just do what I think is right anyway. Answer any questions for you? It certainly doesn't answer any questions from me. I think I'm just going to be doing the same thing that I was doing, but at least this gave me a way to waste my time and to not do the hard work that I really should be doing. So I encourage any of you to get into tarot at any point if you're looking for a way of avoiding the uncomfortable truths in your life. I'm Sam Z. This is Laura Nero. Thank you for joining me for Tarotscope. Is it 15? Holy shit, it's about as old as my sister is in years. Yes, I have a 15-year-old sister, not a 15-day-year-old sister. That would be very strange. You would be congratulating me on having a new sister. Thank you. God bless you. See you at 61 Local tonight, if possible. I would love to see you there. If not, you're probably doing something very busy, or you live in a place where you can't get there, I understand.